The Beatles' A Hard Day's Night opens with a striking guitar chord, an iconic sound heralding the start of both their first film and the accompanying album. This distinctive chord, a blend of mystery and harmony, has intrigued musicians and fans alike. Ringo Starr came up with the phrase "a hard day's night" after a grueling filming session in March of 1964. He said, quote, "We went to do a job, and we'd worked all day, and we happened to work all night. I came up still thinking it was day, I suppose, and I said, it's been a hard day, and I looked around and saw it was dark, so I said, night. So we came to a hard day's night." John Lennon even used the phrase in his book In His Own Right, which was published the same month. The excerpt from the story, titled Sad Michael, reads, "There was no reason for Michael to be sad that morning. The little wretch, everyone liked him, the scab. He'd had a hard day's night that day, for Michael was a cocky watchtower." John has always confessed that the phrase initially belonged to Ringo, though. He said, "I was going home in the car and Dick Lester suggested the title Hard Day's Night from something Ringo'd said. I had used it in His Own Right, but it was an off-the-cuff remark by Ringo. You know, one of those malapropisms. A Ringoism, where he said it not to be funny, just said it. So Dick Lester said we are going to use that title, and the next morning I brought in the song. 'Cause there was a little competition between Paul and I as to who got the A-side, who got the hit singles. But according to Paul McCartney, choosing this phrase for the title of the film and album happened differently. He said, we were sitting around trying to come up with something and we said, well, there was something Ringo said the other day. He said after a concert, phew, it's been a hard day's night. John and I went, what? What did you just say? He said, I'm bloody knackered, man, it's been a hard day's night. Hard day's night. Brilliant. How does he think of him? Whoa, hey. So that came up in this brainstorming session, something Ringo said, it was a hard day's night. This serendipitous Ringoism became the title of their film and tasked Lennon and McCartney with crafting a fitting theme song. Composed by John Lennon on April 13, 1964, the songwriting process was swift and collaborative, with McCartney possibly contributing to the middle eight. Lennon's lyrics, originally scribbled on a birthday card, are now displayed in the British Museum. Recorded on April 16, 1964 at Abbey Road Studios, A Hard Day's Night was completed in just 9 takes over a span of 3 hours. The Beatles' innovative use of a 4-track tape allowed for a rich layering of instruments and vocals, including an unusual addition of bongos by Norman Smith. George Martin's piano and George Harrison's guitar added depth to the track, showcasing the band's evolving studio techniques. The song's release was a monumental success, topping charts in both the UK and the USA. It became the soundtrack of the Beatles' rising global influence, encapsulating the zeitgeist of the 1960s. Winning a Grammy in 1965 for Best Performance by a Vocal Group, A Hard Day's Night wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural phenomenon.